What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to do issue number 4 of Astrobots from Whatnot Publishing, made by Simon Furman and Hector Trunnec. We're going to dive right in because it's been a while. It's late, and I just came from work and I'm pretty tired. All right, so we have the evil robots wants to create their own humans to control, right? And we have in orbit a spaceship with good robots, with the colonists that wants to inhabit this world because that was the plan all along. And we have the scientist, I believe it's called E10, that has been under the guise of under this bad guy, and it's not really trusted, and therefore he needs to do all this stuff to get trusted by the evil guys, etc. But he still is part of the resistance, right? Although he cannot show his true face, if you know what I mean. So this evil robot called, I believe, Atlas, and he says, "Let us rejoin the others, and remember, Raphenia, not a word on every Anger and Venus aboard the Persephone will pay the price." Now, the Persephone is that ship in orbit, right? And it seems that they want to have some information about those humans that is on board. I believe their DNA and other stuff for the cloning of their own master race, if you will, right? And so yeah, that's that. So then the other ones that representative of the Persephone are, talking to the others, say, "Hey, what's going on? We heard an explosion. Are we safe? Is it okay that we just introduce these colonists at this world, because it seems that you are not ready, and we are a little bit hesitant about that." So Adlan comes in and he says, "The area I wish to show Athenia is restricted. Unfit for crowd. She'll fill you in on our little tour, won't you?" "Of course," he says. So Athenia says, "Hey, don't worry. It's all right. It's cool." Well, he says, "If you say so." Right? And then we see the face of E10 here. Meanwhile, we have our hero Apollo battling other robots, because there's, these are the, it's not insurrectionists. It's probably something else. More like, yeah, let's call them rebels for story's sake, right? So the rebel says, "Hey, we need to go to the capital, and we have to stop the evil guys pulling the kill switch." And I don't know what the kill switch means, meaning creating the humans or basically killing the colonists. So they're going to this flying hoverboard thing, and Apollo, who is basically the main character, but also, in my opinion, the most boring character, because we are barely knowing anything about this character at all, at this robot, from this robot, where he comes from. We see glimpses and pieces of what's going on. I still don't know. Although he is probably on every cover, he's the main guy, quote unquote. But yeah, that's the biggest flaw. There's no real backstory, except that he came from the desert, from some kind of a place, and then something happened at the place. And I believe Atlas, also the evil guy, comes from that place. It's really not really well explained, in my opinion, right? So Argus here says, he's basically the military police cop on the side of Atlas. He said, "Hey, we have a problem." So the Apollo situation isn't going away. He's airborne and inbound. "Let him come," he says. "Athenia, I've done all to delay the nanovirus delivery. The rest is down up to you. You warn. Go on, evacuate." So she's, sneaking away, right? And then, so then we have the population. The population is being held back by the Argus police force. They are basically, I'm forgetting the word. But, they are controlling everyone. So they are getting a little bit aggressive and, say, "Hey, you go back, otherwise there will be trouble." And that's exactly what's going to happen. But these innocent people, robots, say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you attacking us? Right? So this fight's breaking out. But then Argus is cramping up, and he says, "Coordinated attack. I'm being attacked on two fronts. I can self-isolate." Oh yeah, that's what's happening because the good guys are coming here. So it seems that Argus is connected with this Argus police force, and it's basically he's the mainframe. He's the main computer, like in Tron. So if you just kill the mainframe and send them back to wherever they came from, or delete the program, then everything is going back to normal, and the evil guys are falling flat on their stomach or something like that. Not entirely sure, right? Atlas noticed that Athenia is going away, and so she is going back to the shuttle. She's being, blocked by, more evil guys, henchmen. That's not really henchmen, but these guys are in power. Apollo comes, jumps off into this, what you call it, a ramp, balcony. All right. So he comes in, and we see Atlas just choking out E10. I'm not sure how this works because, they don't breathe air, but hey, maybe he wants to just snap his head off. And he says, good of you to drop in. And feel it's time we have a full and frank disclosure. Shall we begin? Right? And he just, throws this robot away. And so Apollo says, who's he? Someone useful. Not now. What I am is the savior of the human race, its last best hope. Have you not seen firsthand? And then he talks about the colony, right? The wasteland, they make everything they touch. The city you found far in the east was almost as awe-inspiring as this one. A dream, dashed by the default's devices and desires. So that's a little bit vague to me because does that mean, and I'm just filling in my blanks, is that Atlas did the same thing in that village. It went wrong, and now he's trying it again in this city with more knowledge about, the creating humans, I'm guessing. So Apollo says, hey, it makes no sense. And, but he's gonna attack Apollo, right? And meanwhile, outside, Athenia is using her, sword-like skills to dispatch of these robots, and she's going to, it's a little bit too soon, to the ship. But before we go to that, Argus is, I believe it's Argus, tried to make contact with the colony ship, right? So he says basically, hey, why don't you lower your defenses and let us, do a deep scan, and then everything will be all right. But these people are on board. Normal robot says, hey, until we hear from our landing party, we refuse point blank to submit to such an invasive scan of this vessel and the colonists aboard. Pretty smart, right? So they are not, stupid and ignorant because they are knowing there's something off, but they cannot pinpoint what's going on, right? So then Argus talks like, I don't know, he's probably from England because he says, have it your way. Can we act their element controls from here? Do it and make sure that the screen carrier wave is ready to transmit. So as you can see, it's just, he's skipping a few words. I'm just making up, right? But why should a robot skipping words, right? Like he's speaking in dialect. It's just I don't know, it feels weird. So the other robot says, yeah, it takes time, but we can do it. All right. Meanwhile, Apollo and Atlas are going at it, and I really like this. You really can feel the impact. There's no sound effect, but that's okay in this case. Normally, I'm very critical about that, but you can see the impact. That's damaging around this wall, right? I like that a lot. I want to have that in my comic as well. Feels impactful. Right, so they are basically insulting each other and calling each other out. But then Atlas speaks about a few who survived the phage are by nature too stubborn to know when to quit. Now, I'm not sure what the phage is. It could be some kind of a eradication protocol, if you know what I mean. And Apollo is the only survivor of the Apollo series, if I remember correctly. So it could be that he was involved in that and that he just, I don't know, survives. And phage, huh? Is that what you call it? The bug that got in me, chewed up my innards, and spat me out? Yes. The humans have an apostate saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. All right, so E10, stands up. And then Apollo grabs him and he says, hey, hold on to something. And he says, for what? For this. And Atlas says, hey, why do you do that? And apparently, if anyone knows how to stop murdering a ship full of colonists, it's him. Yeah, so E10 is instrumental in, stopping Atlas from doing that, which is smart. I like that. So Athenia is going, I don't know, full ninja, I guess. A little bit too overpowered in my opinion, but all right, it looks visually cool. Art is great. I love the colors. I also like the fighting scenes. It's sometimes a little bit still, a little bit sound effect here and there, like croom and wham and all this fuzz will help a lot. Not here. This is perfectly, but if you want to have a fight scene, sound effects is really sometimes key to get that feeling that is something is going on, right? That you are getting punched in the face, that you are getting sliced into ribbons and all that stuff. That's not really in here, and that's a criticism from my part. All right, so she's jumping on board on the ship. She's going back to the colony, right? In orbit, and So Atlas gets a notification from Argus. And he says, Athena's airborne. She got away. Yeah, what can she do? Realistically, the die is cast. Just concentrating on bringing Persephone's harmonic shields down. And your situation? All right. He says, he doesn't just, a Megatron and shoots Apollo in the face and he's just shutting down, right? And then he says, citizens of Atlas City, following an unprecedented insurrection by a handful of malcontents bent on sabotaging the glorious first influx of colonists, judgment will be passed and sentenced hands down. A live broadcast of this special tribunal will stream at noon. Right, I like that, right? So they're going to make a public example of Apollo. And that leads us to the last issue. I'm looking forward to that. So I like this comic. It misses some things that makes it really exciting. Although we have only issue to go, so we see. Well, we're gonna see if it's good or not. I have the books. We're gonna take a look at it. By the way, I'm gonna also leave the link in the description for Justin Ferreira's channel. He's doing also a lot of comic reviews, books, computer games, and he also talks about Astrobots. So he has a way different take on it than I am because, my style is not his style. And so maybe you are interested in that too. So to see a different perspective or maybe another way of, storytelling like I'm doing on my channel. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the comic and my review, of course. See you next time. Bye-bye.